Before we get officially started, I just wanted to mention, we had a slideshow of some images. They're just some recent projects that we thought it would be fun to share with you. We had images from recently completed projects from the Creative Neighborhoods program. One in Southeast Boulder by Linda Park, in East Boulder by Creativity Alive, and in Palo Park, the mural by Alex Bugg. We also had some experiments in public art. One of them was, a few of them were from the Boulder Future exhibit that's currently at the Canyon Gallery at the library through mid-July. Some artists featured there were Chris Carruth, Modus Theater, Cal Bracken, Android, and Martha Jones. And also another experiments in public art project, Playing with Galaga's Ghost by Jiffer Harriman, which is an interactive musical arcade. That was an image of its first stop on its whirlwind world tour of Boulder that runs through September. And then the most recent public art installation as a part of our 1% for the Arts that was on the city's Spruce Garage. That's called entitled Strata Uplift by David Franklin and Aaron Welton. And it's really cool. I went out and saw it in person earlier this week. I had seen photos. The photos are amazing. And then you see it in person and it's just fun. So just want to let you know what you're looking at.
Yay. All right. Welcome to the Boulder Arts Commission's meeting. It is June 24th, 2026, and I will call roll. Caroline Kurt.
Present.
Jeffrey Cash.
Present.
Jill Katzenberger. Present. Gaia Vinay.
Present.
Yalid Royale. Present. Kate Seminos.
Present.
And then Montserrat will be joining us a little late. I will now turn the meeting over to Chair Kurt for procedural items.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the June 24th, 2026 Arts Commission meeting for the City of Boulder. First, I would like to ratify the agenda if we have a motion. I think that's first. I don't have it open in front of me. Sorry. Is that first? Or do we do Jill first?
You can do Jill first. That's on first on the agenda.
Beautiful. That would be great. I would love to make a motion that Jill serve as the chair tonight, since she is in the room with staff in person and can have a better sense of what's going on the ground. And Jeff and I are obviously remote. I'll just need a second for it.
I can second.
I have a gavel in front of me.
I can second.
Great. Is everybody okay with that? All in favor? Great. Take it away, Jill.
Hey, first of all, I'm bad at saying no to things, but I don't think there was really another option. So I will probably fumble through this. So all this meeting into order. Okay, now it's minutes. Approval of the minutes. Thank you. Approval of the agenda. Is there anyone?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
Would everybody
Any discussion?
Any discussion? Thank you.
Could I just ask a quick question about, oh, sorry, that's the minutes. My bad. No discussion about the agenda.
All in favor? Unanimous. Whoa, that's good. All right, moving on to minutes. Approval of the May meeting minutes. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Could I ask a clarification question first? Where it says members of the public present and there's a bunch of people listed there, were those people that were watching online?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I'll
If there's not any
second.
further questions, do we have a second? Okay.
I'll
great.
second, but I do have a discussion. I have an edit. For item 6B, the second paragraph, the first sentence, Kurt shared that she thinks it's best for the organization for someone else to step into the chair role. That makes it sound like like I feel like I'm not doing a good job, and I'd like to propose an edit that Kurt shared that she thinks it is best for the health of the organization for her to allow someone else to bring a new perspective to the chair role.
Graciously allow.
Oh, I mean, let's not go crazy. Thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor? With Caroline's edits. Great. I want to like click this every single time. All right, motion passed. Next is public participation. And Melissa, is there an intro into that?
Yes, we have some attendees online. For our attendees online, if you'd like to speak, if you could please use your raise your hand function. And I will read over the public participation guidelines. The city has engaged with community members to create a vision for productive, meaningful, and inclusive civic conversations. This vision supports the physical and emotional safety for community members, staff, and council, as well as democracy for people of all ages, identities, lived experiences, and political perspectives. For more information about this vision and the community engagement processes, please visit the website listed. The following are examples of rules of decorum found in the Boulder Revised Code and other guidelines that support this vision. These will be upheld during the meetings. All remarks and testimony shall be limited to matters related to city business and to a 3-minute time limit. No participant shall make threats or use other forms of intimidation against any person. Obscenity, racial epithets, and other speech and behavior that disrupts or otherwise impedes the ability to conduct the meeting are prohibited. In-person participants are asked to refrain from expressing support or disagreement verbally or with applause. Traditionally, support is shown silently through American Sign Language applause signal. And let's start with our attendee online. We're going to start with Erica Raven.
Can I add one more thing that I want to?
Yes.
As we have a vote for a grant, I want to make it clear that everyone has their First Amendment right to speak during public comment. However, we recommend against speaking to your application specifically, as the Arts Commission remains sequestered on grant decisions until they are finalized. We want to keep the process fair, and addressing your application directly would give an unfair advantage over other applicants.
All right.
So, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Erica, you're ready.
Well, on that note, I was going to speak directly on behalf of my application, which sounds like that's a no-go. So just wanted to thank you for your time, and your consideration. And yeah, thank you for the opportunity to speak. Sorry that I missed the memo.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have a member of public in person. Did you want to speak?
I would love to.
All right, what's your name?
My name is James Davis Maynard.
Thank you.
Should I speak from here?
Yes, if you would like to stand by this pillar here, just so you're on camera.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, hello, board. Yeah, my name is James Davis, and I am the co-founder of Stone Cottage Studios here in town, and I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you all so much for your time and your service and your commitment to supporting the Boulder art scene here. I was born and raised here, and it's a privilege to contribute to this community. And yeah, through Stone Cottage Studios, I've really had an opportunity to create intimate spaces and yeah, foster local community and conversations. the Boulder arts and culture scene is not just something to preserve. I really feel that it's something that is going to define the future of our city. And with Roots Music Festival and Sundance coming to town, we are in an incredibly exciting kind of like position to be able to grow. And I guess I'm here just to say that if we continue to invest and support local artists and venues and creative spaces and build thriving, sustainable arts ecosystem here, it's going to benefit our entire community. And yeah, I just respectfully urge you all to prioritize expanding funding for arts and culture and yeah, support policies that are going to protect and grow creative spaces here. Yeah, so thank you all so much for letting me speak and being here. And thank you all for your work.
Thank you. Thanks, James. Any other? That is all. All right, move on. Thank you. To the grants program, which I will turn it over to Sarah.
All right. So we have the Boulder vision for individuals decision today. Commission members may approve the recommendations, approve individual awards while submitting specific questions, postpone approval of individual awards pending the answers to specific questions, or not approve the recommendations. So these are the scores. And then I do have a few comments to context. Curtis K. Rogers, Friday 13 Fires, the first performance technically starts tonight. There's another one tomorrow. The question from the panel was how will the project be funded? And how will the Boulder Arts Commission be publicly thanked in promotional materials as the performances start the day of the decision? They asked the question about how the project is funded, but they also added, we will add the logo for the Boulder Arts Commission to all promotional materials and publicly thank them as a presenting sponsor at the events in Boulder. So likely that would not be possible tonight, but it would be going forward. So the panel said that they would leave it to the commission. It scored very well, but they wanted to leave it to the commission if they were comfortable with this arrangement. Additionally,
Caroline raised her hand.
I'm just wondering on the first issue if how many other presentations are there? I think I missed that part. How many other opportunities?
There was 3 or 4, I believe, but I can go back and check.
Would it be preferable for us to discuss this question right now if people have other thoughts on this, or should we wait until after you're finished presenting everything, Sarah, and then we kind of talk about everything at once?
I'll leave that to the commission.
I don't personally have a problem with this plan for Curtis Rogers.
I think it's very forward thinking of them to even offer it, so it's appreciated because sometimes that's not happened.
Yeah, I don't have any issue with it.
Okay.
Move on. Additionally, the panel has recommended 17 applications while there's funding for 20 applications. The panel said this was a very difficult decision. After much wrangling, we believe creating a cutoff at an overall minimum score of 30 seems most appropriate here to ensure the quality and capacity to deliver. The pros of the recommending 17 would be to maintain public trust that taxpayer dollars are spent well, and that we are awarding projects that are not set up to fail. Able to fund more grants in another category. We do have a precedent of score thresholds, and we have a precedent of award estimates rather than finalized number of awards. The cons would be that it wouldn't maintain public trust in how many awards we say we will offer per category. Obviously, less projects in this category would be funding, and it does potentially risk discouraging applicants from applying.
And would it be accurate in that if we fund less in this category, those funds can still be used?
It would be used for the grant program.
For that. Caroline has her hand up.
I'm I'm wondering if we had a commissioner at the committee meetings when they were discussing and grappling over this, and what they learned, and then more specifically about that, what is this minimum, what is their recommendation of a minimum score of 30 based on? What were they looking at? What insights do we have as to why that's the recommendation?
You want to answer that question first? The 30 being the threshold?
Sure. I mean, the number 30 isn't significant in and of itself. Obviously, these scores are very subjective category to category. So it wasn't because it was the number 30. Rather, it was because they had concerns, like fundamentally, with some of the projects that happened to fall below that score cutoff. I am not sure if this is the best forum to like go application by application and specifically name their concerns. However, without naming applicants specifically, I do have a list of their concerns for those 4 applications if the commission is interested.
I'd be
So
interested.
I was, what? Was someone speaking? Okay. I was in that meeting, and I will say, just they really came at everything in such like minute detail and like from every angle possible. Like they're really they would not come to us with this recommendation like arbitrarily. Like they didn't come to this conclusion to just do the 17 without really thinking it through from every single angle. So I have a lot of like faith in this recommendation personally. I'm interested if anyone would want to see the reasonings before voting, if that's even like a thing.
I can say that I felt like a couple of them at least. I had questions around how much they fit as arts projects and fit within the city's priorities, which the questions are all designed to evaluate. But yeah, that was just the piece that I was left with some curiosities. And I can also understand the concern with a project being set up to fail if just the evaluation isn't very clear, the goals aren't very clear.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like the pros versus the cons, it's like, is it our job, is it more important to like, yeah, maintain public trust that the funding is going towards things that we think are going to be viable for the community, or is it more important that our job is to give out a certain number of grants that we said we were going to give out? So I think that's where it's kind of being weighed right now.
Caroline.
Jill, I agree with you. I thought there were a couple that I was questioning the project. And then the other question I have is for Lauren. When we used to do the point threshold, was that arbitrarily determined for each set of applications? I don't remember how we would come up with that. And if you could give us a little bit of background on that. And the reason I'm asking is that I'm concerned about setting a precedent for arbitrarily creating a score threshold. Even though I think that having a score threshold, we've come up against that a couple times recently where we thought it might be helpful. So trying to weigh my thoughts there with some input.
Lauren, will you please share?
Sure. Thanks for asking. Yeah, thanks for asking, Caroline. I was trying to remember this earlier today because it was quite a few years ago now. So we had gone from a 50% threshold to a 75%. And ultimately, those had moved in part because it is arbitrary with scoring with different panelists. It becomes more of a, where does a score fall on a curve, right? Like when you're in the room, because your panelists you might have some that are really harsh or some that are very, very kind or, that score very highly or very low. That being said, I think think maybe you could read this not in terms of a threshold, but in terms of these three may not fit the bill, and not think of it even in terms of a score threshold to get out of that precedent, right? Just to say, we think these don't merit funding, and we agree with the panel that they don't merit funding because of the reasons discussed and their advice. Because it does become a moving target that we could, if we wanted to go down the route of a threshold. Oh, pardon me. I did have one more thought. And the reason we started doing it literally 10 years ago was that we wanted to have a general idea of how much funding we needed in the grant program when we had $263,000 in the grant program. So we would get 30 applications. We would have 15, 20 that were over a threshold, and we could go and use that to advocate, use it to talk to city council, use it to talk to the community, right? We're in an entirely different funding world now that we would just want to talk about it and think about it differently. Because I think now we can talk about advocating and funding needs differently without using that kind of line, right? No.
I remember that now. Thank you.
I know. It was a minute. Sarah?
I see that Jeffrey has his hand up and.
Sarah, sorry. Did you want to say something too?
Oh, I just wanted to add one contextual note that last year we were only able to award 5, so 17 is significantly higher than that.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. Jeffrey, I'm calling you.
You're muted.
You're muted.
I mean, drat. So, yes, my question was as a reminder from Sarah, how many did we award last year? Did we have an increase in applications this year, and what was that percentage? And I think rather than set like a arbitrary number as the threshold point at which to create, if we're saying that perhaps the quality goes down at a certain point, then perhaps we just lessen the number that are being given, whether that was 20 down to 15 or down to 12 or whatever, and then be able to reallocate that, keeping in mind that this is taxpayer money, and so we want to make sure there's a quality control meter on that. And thank you to the panel for helping guide that, because right now there are a lot of optics on how and where the city is spending money, as there should be.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Matthew's pulling up the numbers, but to my best recollection, we had 20-something applications last year. So we did have about 10 more applications this year. And then, yeah, there's much more recommended for award than we were able to fund last year.
Well,
And I
congrats.
do think that maybe we overshot the mark in terms of estimations.
Yeah, and that's fine too. But also, congrats to the staff for being so great to be able to connect the artists to these grants, as we have been bringing individuals to you folks and being so proactive with them. Thank you.
I see Gaia's hand up, and also, yeah, okay, we'll come to Kate after that.
I have a bunch of questions. There were a few recusals. Do we know why? Like the Lojo Homoi, look, the number 3, East African Alive.
Yes.
They seem to be, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So in looking at the conflict of interest form again, we realized that what the actual wording states is it's broader than you just as an individual directly benefiting from a project. Rather, you must and should recuse yourself if you feel like you could not score it in an unbiased fashion. And there were reviewers that felt certain applications should not have gone through due to eligibility. And so they strongly felt that was an organization and not an individual. And so while it was determined by staff that they did meet the requirements to apply as an individual, that reviewer still did not feel like they could go that way in an unbiased manner.
Okay. And then with Jeffrey Niche, I know Jeffrey, I will not. Sorry. I think that what is encouragement again? Remind me. And his scores seem to have a pretty big range in encouragement. Remind me what that is.
The encouragement points include whether the project is primarily by, for, and from underrepresented individuals, whether they are a first-time applicant, and whether they checked off that English was not their primary language.
So
Okay.
it's a max of 3.
Okay. Allison McDuffie, she seems to have youth interns. Can we just get a little bit of clarification in terms of what that safeguarding looks like? 13 to 18 involved in production.
Yes.
Curtis Rogers, you said the project runs the day after award decision. There was one more person, number 8. His project also starts tomorrow, I think.
I think that was, depending on who you're referring to, I think that the calendar was more like this was not a
Ashwin Collins. Okay, got it.
Is that the?
Uh,
I couldn't hear the answer. There was one that looked like it was a typo. Is that what you said, Sarah?
No, I reached out. I think that this is more of the like planning and outreach calendar, but correct me if I'm wrong there. I don't think it's an actual.
Okay. I saw one that was a list of 2027 dates, and then it went in chronologically, and then all of a sudden June said 2026, and then the next line said 2027. So there was one I noticed that had a typo, and I don't know if that's what you're looking at, Gaia.
Yeah, it was number 8 on the list. Ashwin Collins, sitcom pilot that films through June 25th to 29th. That was the one that I was looking at. And then I don't have anything else. I just wanted to flag Radna's. It's in Chautauqua. Any permitting issues or anything else? Because she didn't specifically mention that.
She emailed me that she had
Okay.
received.
She's all set with that. I think that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Gaia. Kate?
You know, I actually don't think I have anything at the moment. Thank you. It's been good to hear these comments as they've been going by.
Is there anything else to
I
add?
have another question, just going back to the offer to read. I would just like to get a general sense of what the overall comments were that you said you had, Yaleid, without linking them to anybody's particular application, please.
Well, I guess, how do you mean? Sorry.
Somebody
I mean,
said they had a list of what the criteria that the committee had used to determine where the line was and what some of their concerns were. I'd be
Yes.
interested in hearing that.
So I have those, and I think I would prefer to keep the applicant specifically anonymous in this case. And this is not in order of score ranking, but these are the 4, again, not in order. Didn't specify who, this is applicant 1, didn't specify who the participants were or how they would reach out to any community members, no specifics for outcome and evaluation, concerns about the budget, both accuracy and scope. The next one, not specific about how it ties to community goals, no details about who the participants or facilitators were or what the sessions would cover. Their definition of an underserved population was considered a stretch. Applicant 3, very general and conceptual, lack of details all around. They felt their scores were generous on this one. The project seemed unfocused, disjointed, and while they acknowledged equity issues, they didn't create a plan to address them, and the calendar dates again were incorrect. And then the 4th one, the application is presenting an encounter, which they felt the definition of encounter in this case was basically just a single concert. Makes them wonder how many people they plan to engage, no specifics about outcome and evaluation. Application talked at length about the importance of the art form, which no one was contesting, instead of the actual project itself. They felt it was lofty and passionate, but needed concrete and specific details. So those are the comments.
Thank you,
There
Sarah.
was like an overall sense of just a lack of detail in planning for a few of them. And that was kind of a sticking point for them. Yeah.
And then Matthew has some statistics. Do you mind reading them?
Sure, yeah. So last year for the community project grants for individuals, we funded 17% of people who applied. This year, if we fund 17 applicants, it would be 53% funded. And if we fund 20 applicants, it would be around 62%.
Any other questions?
I guess like, yeah, overall, we can go with the recommendation without it really affecting or setting in stone anything we have to, any decisions we make in the future, correct? Like, we don't have to like set it at 30 and then like that's it forever. Like, so that's, yeah. I feel good about that then. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel good about trusting the grant panels. That line in which it doesn't feel aligned with the city's goals or with, taxpayer money.
Yeah.
We also see several recusals on here for, the applications kind of passed that benchmark. So potentially even some questions around whether or not this is an individual application.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm fine
Anything
with, again, approving the process, not necessarily the choices, but going through with the process and trusting what the panel recommended on that, because that's their job.
And from what, yeah, and me being in the meeting, I definitely trust their process. They definitely are in the nitty gritty of it and are, yeah, I really appreciate their work that they're putting in that regard, because it's highly competitive. So all of these, you're reading all these grants and they're all, you obviously, like, a lot of these are really incredible things you want to be supporting, but it is highly competitive. So you are kind of seeing comparatively the grants that are extremely detail oriented and have like a strong path forward versus these ones that they feel do not. So yeah.
With that, would anyone like to make a motion?
I can do the motion.
I have this split out so far.
Thank you. I was just about
yeah.
to say that.
So I have Jeffrey split out, but I also am wondering if there's a different motion for Allison with the follow-up question. So anyway.
Sorry, what was that about, Allison?
I think, Gaia, do you have a recommendation to award with questions or postpone decision based on the answer to the questions?
Was this about the young people interns?
Yes.
Oh no, I'm okay. I think that I'm okay supporting moving forward. I just wanted us to keep an eye on some of those things. That's all. Nothing else.
Do we have a
Okay.
second?
Sure.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Do I have to read this out loud or do we not need to do
That's what I
that?
was wondering. I think you should read it.
Yes, sorry, we do.
I can if we need to for the.
Yeah.
Yes, please do. And I apologize because I'm trying to help and I'm not doing a good job.
That's okay. Wish me luck, y'all. I move that we approve Boulder Vision grants for the following individuals: Kate Fitzpatrick, Loja Homoi, Lokonebi, East Africa Alive, Allison McDuffie, Curtis K. Rogers, Anna Balzan, Anton Tishkin, Faces of the Front Range, Al Ashman Collins, Maria Waterzynska, Merlin Holmes, Singing Visions, Julia Vandenover, Rodna Segal, Andrea Gomez, Amy Marshak, Ryan Nash, Mario Overa, Fletcher Solus, and Erica Van Dorn, the Bear Corridor Project.
All right. No, we had a second.
I will second that.
All right. All in favor? Excellent. Montserrat has joined us. Welcome, Montserrat.
Thank you. My audio may be a little in and out, but I'm here.
All right, next it is, oh no, we have another, we have to, yeah, next motion. Would anybody like to make this next motion?
I'll do that one too. Did Jeffrey go off?
Oh, right, yes. Jeffrey has definitely left the room.
Jeffrey is not in his screen anymore.
Yeah, it's on it.
Which
With that
one
in
is
mind,
this? Sorry.
This is the same vision grant for individuals, but we just pulled this one out because this Jeffrey Cash's conflict of interest.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry.
I move that we approve a Boulder Vision Grant for Jeffrey Nitch.
I'll second. All in favor? And do we need to see Montserrat? Montserrat, will you, we're gonna use an icon probably? Yeah. Okay. All right. Reports. Back to Sarah?
Yes, Jeffrey.
Oh, yeah.
Jeffrey back.
Texting.
Or we can maybe put in the chat. Anyway, on to reports. Commissioners have the option to approve all reports, approve individual reports while submitting specific questions, postpone approval of individual reports pending the answers to specific questions, or not approve the reports. So we had 3 arts education project grant reports from Boulder Phil, Orlando, and the new local.
I move that we approve the reports by Boulder Philharmonic Orchestra, Orlando School for the Arts, and the new local.
I'll second. Any discussion? I don't have anything. I was interested to read the reports with some of them being applicants in this next round of funding for arts education, which I'm sitting on. Yeah, so familiarized me with their programs. Would we? Who are we? What's the words that I use? We already made the motion, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. All in favor, those are the words. Montserrat, yeah, that's just a hand raise. Cool. Okay.
Next, we had 2 leadership pipeline grant reports from Harvey and Gill and Journey LeBeau.
I move that we approve the grant reports from Harveen Gill and Journey LeBeau.
Would anyone like to second?
I'll
I can second. Oh, 2 seconds.
2 seconds. All in favor? Montserrat?
Might want to ask if there's anybody opposed.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Is there anyone opposed? Or it could be, yeah, it could be internet access. Yeah, which she warned us about.
By the rules, if she has abstained, then it is a yes, according to the City of Boulder process.
She came off mute, it sounded like, and said yes.
Oh, okay.
I did, yes, I did,
Okay,
yes.
Great.
thank you.
Awesome. All right, moving on.
Okay, next, staff had some questions about professional development eligibility. The stated purpose of this grant is to encourage leadership and the sharing of good practices through professional development that will advance our creative economy, support professionals and businesses, and enhance cultural dialogue. Typically, people have used this to go to conferences or attend courses for professional development. There were 3 applications that staff had questions about, so they decided to take this to the commission.
And I will remind everybody that this is a grant that is first come, first serve. So there are applications beyond these ones presented here. These ones just were received sooner.
When I looked again at what the grant is defined as, and I thank you for sending out also the prior recipients. They just don't feel to me like they align with what the purpose is. While there may be professional benefit, I feel like we've been using these monies to do formal trainings for people, formal workshops, formal classes, things like that. And so these feel very kind of loosey-goosey, and none of them really talked about, okay, I'm doing a self-guided professional enrichment, and here's exactly what I'm going to be doing and how that is specifically tailored to what I'm bringing back to the community. And then there was one that was not even really tied to Boulder.
Yeah.
It was somebody doing a lot of work in Denver, and I did not see how that was going to tie into the purpose of enriching our community as a whole in Boulder.
For me, I like to
I
look
agree
at
with everything. Oh, Jeffrey, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. For me, I like to look at it the perspective of will that individual who lives in Boulder or the greater Boulder community benefit from these experiences, and how are they going to be applied to their interactions in Boulder once they return. So that's another way to kind of look at it.
Yeah, it didn't seem like there was a strong through line of they might be learning, they're going and learning things, but there wasn't a strong through line for how that's going to affect us in Boulder in the long run. So
Got comments from both Kate and Gaia. Kate, I'll go first.
Sure. Like Caroline, sort of held in my head, like what types of things are we looking for? And most of the past examples, which made sense, seemed to be it was a gathering of people coming from different places together to exchange their learnings, learn together, best practices in that field that they are actually working on and serving in within Boulder, and then coming back to the community from that particular type of professional development exchange and setting. And I agree that the ones shown here didn't seem to fit into that rubric for me.
Gaia?
Do we have handy just the eligibility requirements overall?
Sarah, is that
Or
something?
It's open eligibility. They just need to answer questions about how they contribute to creative life in Boulder. And then the stated purpose of the grant. I would say for staff and frankly applicants, it would be helpful to have clear guidelines for this grant. Additionally, this is an extremely popular grant, so I am not suggesting one way or the other on this decision. That's why I'm bringing it to the commission. I don't feel one way or the other on these. However, I do want to emphasize kind of protective of maintaining the integrity of this grant simply because it is so popular.
and how much is the funding per applicant, Sarah?
So to go out of state, it's 1,600, and to stay in state, it's 800.
And they can use it for anything, so they don't have to submit receipts or anything to us.
They submit their final budget as when they do their report. And this is the only first come, first served grant that's paid 80% upfront, 20% after they turn in their report.
So they can use it for dinner, hotel, flight. We are not controlling any of that.
They're not asking for receipts, only their final budget.
Okay. I will echo what Caroline said, especially about the first two. It seems like a nice chance to go and experience something and have this amazing opportunity, but it seems like a little bit of a tourism visit to me, and I am hesitant. The applicant 3 with the teacher training seems more aligned. They're going to come back and it seems like they're going to help Boulder dance crew and classes and community partnerships, because our eligibility requirements are not very laid out and clear. I would say applicant 3, it's a stretch, but sure. But applicant 1 and 2 seems a pretty big stretch.
Sarah?
Yeah, I'd just like to clarify the reason that the third one came through is that as a steppers, I'm a bit unclear as to the definition of contemplative arts. I was thinking maybe this fits, but I wasn't sure, to be honest. But in statute, we technically can fund contemplative arts. But yeah, the reasons for the first two are different than the reason I brought the third one to you all.
Any other? Oh, yes, Laura.
Thank you. I do want to note that we have seen, as you probably noticed with the individual category, more contemplative arts sort of applications coming through as we're getting just more people knowing about the grant program, frankly. So it is something I would propose we put on, certainly in the grants discussion, right? Yeah. To help us narrow that. And we can put something in the grant discussion to help us for next year, and then even discuss it at a retreat, because I do think that is a really interesting topic to dig into as an arts commission.
Yeah.
But then it also helps us with clarification.
And the panel struggled with that as well.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lauren. I agree with everything that has been said, and yeah, and even question whether or not applicant 3 aligns with arts and culture priorities. Any other discussion? Oh, Caroline, thank you. Caroline? Mute. Unmute.
Sorry, I couldn't get the screen to pop up for. Can you give me your definition just on the contemplative arts? Is that yoga, and what else would fit into that bucket? Meditation, that kind of thing?
Yes, breathwork massage, I think, is one that's come up recently, and Reiki is another one I've seen recently.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Lauren, do you have?
Oh, no, I was actually, sorry. Sarah, we do have a vote on this, right? Or no?
Yes,
Okay.
we do.
The vote slide.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Could I go back to that previous point there? I was trying to understand this definition of contemplative arts, and then a few examples were mentioned. I just want to understand. So we are open to receiving applications for and funding projects that fall in those categories that were just mentioned in the room. Things like yoga, massage, meditation.
So what I'm working on is in statute, there's a list of like genres of art that are included in the definition of art, contemplative arts being the last one. The definition of contemplative arts we don't have. So I just Googled it.
And when you say in statute, that is can you say more about that? Is that what the city defines as
Yes.
under our purview as Office of Arts and Culture?
Yes, that is what is art, yeah.
Lauren, please add to this.
Thank you. There's a specific section of the city's code that talks about art grants, and that's where it falls. So there's a list of things that can be funded. I think Jill brought up a very good point, though, that considering what was discussed within the arts blueprint, and this is kind of a discussion I think we need to have in more depth at a retreat during the grant program to figure that out, because I do see a lot more application. There are just a lot more applications coming in that are falling into this eligibility question now, because we have that in the statute.
Yes.
I definitely think we should discuss that further. I think that's a big area that a lot of people are in. And if arts and culture includes all of those areas that all may be considered kind of in the health and wellness or mental, it just, to me, that starts to open up a whole thing that I'm not sure we we don't have unlimited funding. Let's just put it that way. So it's kind of like, what are we using the funding for?
Yeah. Caroline.
Thank you. As I had a little bit of time, I went back to refresh my recollection about the yoga training. And Sarah, I'm curious to know if you had any conversations with them about how this would impact the Boulder community, because this is an artist that is living and working in Denver and does not specify in their application how at all, other than the fact that they aspire to be a bridge between the Denver and Boulder communities, how this is benefiting our community here.
So as a procedural note, it said that if staff had questions, they go to the commission, not that I would go directly to the applicant. In any case, all I'm working on right now is what they said in their application. However, they say that they're involved in Boulder Dance Crew and they have attended one of our summits.
Thank you for that.
Do we want to make a motion? Any further discussion? Do we have motion language? But this one wasn't a recommendation. This is.
Nope.
Yeah.
I think though, if you were declining, sorry.
Yes, please.
Thank you. I think if you were not approving them, then we can leave without a vote. Does that make sense? Or is that, should we just do it to be safe? If you're not voting to approve the funding and you're saying
it's just a vote on eligibility.
Right, you decline because it's eligible. Okay, hold on.
So like we vote to go with staff recommendation.
I don't have a recommendation.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So what's the language?
a motion that these applications are ineligible.
Can you move it maybe to the previous slide?
Or would it be more appropriate to have commissioners vote on each, kind of a yes or no on each of those three to move them forward or not? Or take them as a group?
Different question. Yeah, and I mean, especially if there is dialogue between them.
Does the motion have to be to advance them, or can the motion be to? Can it be a motion to acknowledge that we do not believe that these are eligible for this particular grant funding?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can.
What if, like, for instance, what if we, as a commission, decided that we did want to, we thought that we would approve them? Is that something we could do?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not saying that's not what I'm putting forth. I'm just asking in a scenario if that was something else we would be able to do. Okay.
I think I just want to come back to the fact that there are other applicants that are eligible, or have less questions around eligibility that came in after these ones. So taxpayer money, if I were to move that applicant 1 is ineligible, would anyone like to second that?
I'll second.
That was Kate. All in favor? And then if I move that applicant 2 is ineligible. Do we have a second?
I'll second that one.
All in favor?
Are we getting Montserrat?
Yep, we got Montserrat. And applicant 3, moving that applicant 3 is ineligible. Any second?
I'll move
Ryan.
that applicant 3 is ineligible.
All in favor? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I think last is GOS liaison assignments. I did my very utmost to accommodate everyone's requests. That being said, this is not a finalized list, so if y'all want to duke it out, certainly may.
I love mine. Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you.
Looks
Right?
good to me.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Lauren.
What's the process?
Sorry, wait. I have a question. Sorry, go back. Me, Montserrat, can I take the Boulder JCC from you? And
Sure.
thank you.
I also think that the Jeff got Junkyard Social
Mhm,
Club. Is that, are you good with that?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah, Cheryl had it before, so
Oh,
we have to
perfect.
have made the decision that somebody else.
I love it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And Montserrat, do you want something from me instead of JCC?
Can I take the dairy arts?
You got it.
Thanks.
I'm not gonna switch that live because it's only letting me join the PowerPoint from the beginning, but I will switch that at a later time.
Thanks for all your work on this, Sarah. This is a lot.
Yeah. And there was a request to maybe bring up a more strategic distribution of these in the future, like separating the
Yeah, just as I'm gonna bring it up as a discussion point at our retreat. If there's any benefit to aligning the groups together with common challenges, goals, areas of interest, that could be based on size, could be content area, could be, I don't know, mission alignment. But then having this opportunity to do more like roundtables with our liaisons that, that might have points of conversation, lessons that they could learn, or, collaboration opportunities that come from it. Yeah, we can chat about that at the retreat.
Awesome. And then we do have a list of liaison questions to be asking your liaison organizations, just so we have consistency between everybody. So asking them about a recent success or upcoming achievement, challenges they're facing, collaborations with other organizations, kind of leading behind on that, and just encouraging people to collaborate. And then finally, using it as an opportunity to advertise our opportunities and events.
Will you all be sharing the contact people for those organizations with us?
Absolutely.
Next on the agenda is commission business. So I'll turn it over to, well, leadership positions. Does this come back to you? Or,
Yeah, I can talk about
Okay.
that. That's all right.
okay, sure.
And then
Can
you can manage
Please.
the,
Thank you.
I would love to. Yeah. Oh, Caroline.
Love it. Caroline.
Never mind. Sorry. Go ahead.
Love it.
Sorry, I'm just looking at my script. Thank you all so much for sending in your nominations. We can also accept nominations this evening. I have these up here. Though I do think we'll go chair and then vote and then vice and then vote. If that's okay with everybody. If you would like to throw your name in the hat for the chair position, I wanted to give some background to that. I think any 7 of you would be wonderful to work with. I'm looking forward to it. I will absolutely miss Caroline and Jeffrey if they're not reappointed to something. But really this is managing the meetings, as you see how that goes, and setting the agenda with us, having a meeting in advance to set the agenda, to talk through what's on the agenda. But ultimately, all of the decisions and the discussions happen in this room too. So please take this is a leadership position and a managing of an audience position, as you very well have seen. But you're going to hear you're not going to miss anything if you're not a chair or vice. And I'm so happy that some of our new commissioners have been nominated, maybe against their will, or are interested, because that seems like a good, for 5 years, I might be set, which is exciting. So let's talk about chair first, if that's all right. Maybe we could go through the list, and I could hand it back to you if you want to go through the list to open up for discussions and then a nomination. So.
Sure. Yeah, I will open it up for discussions.
Are you asking for those who are nominated to speak, or what type of
Or
discussion?
perhaps those that nominated them, if they want to speak.
Well, I can
Opportunity that if
go.
somebody's nominated and is like, nope, I don't want to do this.
I'd say.
I nominated myself, so I won't speak about myself, but I will just say that I think you have great choices, right? Like, so, you have to decide. It's a hard decision for you all, but you all have, it's an amazing choice of group of people. If it helps in any way, I am happy to pull my name from both chair and vice, just to make it sort of less awkward and everything be nice and smooth, because I really don't think you can go wrong. So you tell me what to do.
Can I just ask, Kate, how do you feel about being nominated, having just joined the commission?
I thank you for the nomination. I'm honored to be nominated. I would be happy to serve the commission in a leadership role, but that said, I feel like there is a pretty big learning curve with joining the commission. I've been doing a lot of homework and getting up to speed, but I have a ton of questions still, and I think it would be beneficial to serve for a year before stepping into at least the chair position. I wouldn't be opposed to being vice chair, but it feels a little premature to step into chair, as I'm still kind of on this learning curve. But again, happy to serve however needed. I think I could do the role. It's just either role. It just would be while I'm on the learning curve.
Anything?
I nominated myself as well. I'm going into my 5th and last year on the art board. And so I definitely feel like I've seen how we've grown and changed as a group, and the challenges we've faced and navigated through those. So I do feel like I would be able to navigate that really well. But I agree, everyone that's on this board is on this board because they're passionate about it, and I do think everyone would be an asset to do it. So yeah, we have a good crew. So
What's that?
I just have a quick question about the term. Is it should Guy or Kate be not or appointed as chair, is it until the end of their term, or is it every year we vote?
It's for the year. Every June we revote.
Got it. Thanks.
I just want to add that, like Lauren said, that being a chair or vice chair is so procedural. Like we're all such leaders on this, and we all take charge and run with things and do so much. So just remember that that it's procedural in many cases.
Yes, there was
Yeah,
no
I would say-
secret sauce to what I added as the chair. I just ran the meeting, so exactly.
Yeah, I have no doubt that you three are more than capable. Yeah, I would have zero concerns. Even in the limited time that I've gotten to work with Kate, I can see it's just like does her homework, knows what's going on. So yeah. All that being said, I feel like with Yalene's last year up, if it's something that they are interested in doing, it feels like also a cool opportunity to extend that, knowing that, Gaia has 3 more years. That's just what I'm feeling.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you, Jill. That would have my thumbs up as well.
Do we want to vote? How does this kind of vote work?
Sorry, the next, I can't, let me go to the next slide. I think there is a, oh, phew, I'm psychic. Okay, just the first part of that then. I moved that.
I can do that. I move that Aileen be appointed chair. We have not had a conversation about vice chair yet. Can I just make? Oh, yep.
Just
All right.
withdraw.
Move that Aileen be appointed chair. End of sentence.
I'm sorry, I'm having difficulty hearing, and I literally
Sorry.
cannot hear if that is a vote for Gaia or for Yalaid.
Yalaid. So I move that Yalaid be appointed
Thank you.
chair.
Thank you.
Would anyone like to second?
I will second.
All in favor? Okay. And now we can have a conversation about vice chair. Want to go back a second?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Yeah, anyone that's on that list or anyone that nominated have anything that they would like to share? I'll say that I had a willingness to. It wasn't necessarily an eagerness to. I feel like I'm always doing everything that I can at the last minute, but liked the idea of that time ahead of time to talk about the agenda and sort of like wrap my head around everything, just the way that I learn and think. It helps me process. So that sounded beneficial. But yeah, I have a very full plate. So if there's others that are really excited and desiring, I'm definitely willing to let them do it.
I'd like to support Gaia for this position. I think Gaia has shown an interest in continuing her commitment to the Arts Commission, especially in stepping down from serving on boards that we fund. And I think that you would be great in this role.
Thank you. I'm happy to step into this. I would be happy to help when Yalaid is not available and with anything else as well.
I feel like Gaia is such a great like connective force within the community. So I feel like that's just a strong attribute you bring. So
I third that.
I'd be
Thank
happy
you.
to make that motion. Is there anyone else? Montserrat, you're like, how are you feeling?
Kate?
I think Kate echoed my sentiments when she mentioned, when she talked about her, wanting to be a chair. And, I think I do have a lot to learn yet still. And I'm excited to be on the commission and to continue learning. And I think that the opportunity will arise in the future. So I'm happy to leave it to Jill or Gaia.
And I would be very happy to let Gaia take it on. So knowing that I'm bad at saying no to things to inform me. I would make that motion that move for Gaia to be appointed vice chair. Would anyone like to second?
I'll second that.
And all in favor? Cool. Unanimous.
Thank you.
Oh, I would love to extend a big thank you to Caroline and Jeffrey for their time.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say, Caroline and Jeffrey, you guys have done such an incredible job with the meeting and navigating some hairy situations and public comments and et cetera, et cetera. So much to learn from you and the grace and just the thoughtfulness that you bring in. Thank you.
We're not going anywhere, but also we've never had this many people that have volunteered for leadership roles in as long as I can remember. So kudos to all of you for willing to just jump in and do the work.
Absolutely. I'm really excited for this next year. It's going to be
And relieved.
What a team.
And I'm gonna miss our meetings with the city folks so much.
Exactly. Lauren, we're going to have to go to Lions games.
There you go.
Amen. There you go.
Moving on to work groups. Oh. We have a board position. All right. So did we have any nominations for this position?
Yes. Pardon. I think they're still driving the. Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
This is also another chance for if anybody else would like to add your names to these leadership positions. These are both appointed by agreements that the city has with BMOCA and with Visit Boulder. And maybe we start with BMOCA. I think we could do these just all at once. That's all right. But
Montserrat, are you aware of your nomination for this?
I was aware, yes. And I would be very happy to, serve on the board of the BMOCA as an arts commissioner. I would be very honored and excited.
Talk about a perfect fit. Yeah.
I think it's a great fit. Exactly.
For both of you. Yeah. Can we go back to the language?
Yeah, no discussion, both great choices.
I move that Montserrat be appointed as board member with the Boulder Museum of Contemporary Art and Caroline be appointed as board member with Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Anyone like to second?
I can second.
All in favor? Working groups. Toss it back to you, Lauren.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Just quickly, we have 3 working groups, as you very well know. I am going to bring this up in the October meeting to see if we maybe go down to 2 because it's kind of a lot for staff. That being said, since we have new commissioners, we wanted to open it up and see if everybody would like to stay on their groups. We do have an open spot in the AI group if anybody would like to join that. And we don't need to vote on these. These are informal working groups. I found them very, very useful and very interesting. And the reason that we need to keep it to 2 on each work group is that a meeting of 3 or more arts commissioners constitutes a formal meeting that we would have to open with an agenda and publicly announce, et cetera, et cetera. So we keep it to 2 so it's a doesn't go and hit Colorado's sunshine laws. So
Jill and Jeff, would you like to stay on the climate sustainability work group?
I guess I'll say specifically for both of mine, I don't want to occupy spots if there's more people that are interested, because it has been a really great learning opportunity, especially establishing our statements, developing the summits, and know that I've learned a lot in just this first initial year. I feel like I have larger background knowledge in sustainability, but also could make the argument more to learn in disability access. So if anybody has I would love to sit on this work group in either area, I'm open to hearing that and reducing mine by one. Montserrat.
I would be really interested in working with the disability access. That's something that I'm really interested in, and I want to learn more. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And currently, I will also relinquish my area on the sustainability one because we've got so many other folks that were interested in leadership this year. And I think this is an excellent way for them to be able to access and step up. Although you're going to have a lot of opportunities now that you're liaisons as well. So,
Kate.
I'm happy to join the AI group. I'm really interested in this intersection of AI and arts. So happy to join that one.
Gaia.
With the disability access, I think it's been such a great learning group, and we've made some amazing strides. I would be sad to lose you, Jill, because I feel like we lose some, I don't want to say institutional knowledge because that doesn't exist, but I feel like we have a good rhythm. So I just want to flag that.
Thank you. And I'll still attend all of these things too, because it's, I'm taking it in, not just for the sake of understanding it for the broader, but just, applications to my own work. Yeah. If nobody else wants to be on sustainability, Jeffrey, are you still willing to stay?
if nobody else is willing, I will stay. Yes, my schedule is getting a little hairier though.
Gaia, do you still have more to say? Yep. Okay. Okay.
Wonderful. So sustainability, Jeffrey and Jill, AI, Kate and Caroline, and disability access, Montserrat and Gaia.
Yep.
Great. Wonderful. I'll send out follow-up emails with calendar invitations and information and notes. Accessibility.
Yay. No, I'm excited. I think we had a really successful accessibility summit this Monday. We had between 30 and 35 attendees and staff and panel. The Art Commission statement on disability access was discussed and read, as was the self-assessment checklist and how all the work is tied to the first goal of the blueprint. So far with feedback, attendees reported that the exercise led by Ben of Family Theater about how accessibility isn't just doing the right thing, but rather elevates art was the most meaningful. The panel also discussed how to get started and get buy-in, how to overcome roadblocks, and gave a few tangible actions organizations can take. Additional takeaways included that accessibility benefits everyone. This work is never finished. Start small and start now. And then some examples of meaningful low-cost actions included providing captions, visiting and evaluating event spaces before hosting activities, making accommodation requests simple and easy with a single point of contact as your on your staff, clearly communicating available accommodations, and asking participants what they need rather than assuming. Thank you so much to Matthew for helping with the logistics of this event and having it go so smoothly. It's a lot nicer hosting these things with him on board. And yeah, thank you to Lauren and the two commissioners that attended as well. I don't know if there's any comments you wanted to add.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Great work, Sarah.
And yeah, I think like my big takeaway was that piece that accessibility benefits everyone, that it's not about checking a box. And there was this one question that kind of got screwed over because nobody had a direct answer to it around set making and how to talk to a cast or designers around that. And from hearing all of the other responses to things, my thoughts on it were like, put yourself in the perspective of various people in the audience, understanding different needs, and most likely that person's experience, whether somebody needs more accommodations around sensory or visual or hearing, that it's going to benefit other people beyond that, that the overall experience is going to be amplified. So it's not just about meeting one need, but actually like benefiting everybody in the group, and which makes it kind of a no-brainer. Gaia.
I thought it was really great too. I asked the question about, we sort of alluded to low-hanging fruit, and I think that's a good thing for us to take on, Sarah and Lauren, as a next, something that we work on over the next 6 months. Like, let's ask people, what are some easy things that we can help you accomplish, that you've been wanting to accomplish, and see if we can start helping them check some things off the box. Like, one of them was like, oh, I would love to have somebody with a wheelchair sort of navigate a restaurant to have that experience of how it feels, and see if this restaurant is really accessible and things like that. I think those are easy things we can help with just as commissioners. And maybe there's a venue that we can help with. Just let's find like 2 or 3 things that we can help accomplish.
I agree. I'm excited to work on that. And then in terms of momentum, there were 2 city staff members from completely different departments that attended, and I had been working with them previously to try to collaborate more, but they were so enthusiastic about this and taking what we're doing back to their departments. So it is having ripple effects beyond arts and culture, which is really nice. And then the 2 photos you see here are it's a color alphabet, a scripter alphabet, so that visually impaired people can, similar to Braille, feel it and see or like experience color. And then we also are, again, trying to forge partnerships beyond strictly arts and culture. So we had an adaptive sports organization called Ignite that Gaia put me in touch with. Thank you, Gaia, that were there to table, and they're excited to attend future events with us as well. So it's just really lovely. Oh, did we have the AI statement or something?
Sustainability next.
Sure. Thank you, Sarah. It was an excellent event. Thanks so much for it. Thank you. Just briefly about the sustainability group, we meet next week and we're working on drafting a similar statement. We have a summit coming up. Thank you. Perfect. A summit coming up at Junkyard, where we have 2 members of the city staff to come talk about. The city does excellent work in climate like adaptation and sustainability, as perhaps you can imagine. So we have our director of climate initiatives and our staff member that runs special events, because we do some very cool things as city whenever we manage special events. And now the AI work group, I think I'll leave this actually up here to start, which is the organization summit coming up in July at Kiln, to talk about artificial intelligence, specifically for organizations, how they are thinking about it. And that leads us into our statement review. I did not put it into this text, but I could pull it up if that is of interest. It's also in your packets. Let me know if you would like. Oh,
Caroline, let's see your hand up.
I feel like putting my hand up interrupted what Lauren was saying.
Oh no, sorry. I'm trying to be supportive of our pro tem. So you probably hear me going. Yeah.
I'm trying to get to the page number in the packet where that is. There it is. So once it got cleaned up with our edits from last time, there was one other thing that I noticed that I wanted to bring to the commission. And it's the so sorry.
I'll share for us. We can see what
Oh, okay. So the fourth bullet down, 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth bullet down is my the example of what I'm hoping to parallel in the bullet that I have a question about. So the example is we've got artists have the right to know how their work trains AI. Boulder's culture community stands with artists in that obtaining consent is not optional. And then we have this directive sentence include clear AI and data rights language in all artist contracts and commissions. And then when we go to the bullet above that, transparency builds trust. We have the same way, we have a nice little vision portion. Our community members deserve to know when and how AI is being used in art making programs and decision making. And that felt like between those two bullets, there should either be another directive in the third bullet or take out the directive in the fourth bullet. Like I felt like the third bullet, it should say something like, include clear guidelines on or require clear acknowledgement in grant applications when AI has been used to create the grant application, create any of the art that is being funded, and also require clear communication about how the grant committee is allowed to get input from AI on scoring applications.
Caroline, are you suggesting
Not very well
we
stated.
are you suggesting we table this until you and Kate have a chance to look at this over the next month?
I can suggest that.
We could.
I don't have any problem holding on this.
I appreciate your point, Caroline, and I wonder if it wouldn't necessarily benefit us to go into that much detail, but I hear you saying there could be some kind of directive in that bullet that kind of parallels the directive in the fourth bullet.
Exactly.
That said, I messaged Lauren earlier. I do have quite a few suggested edits to this, none of which are substantive, but more just for clarity, flow. By the way, I really appreciate the edits that were made since the last meeting. It is coming very much along in the right direction, and I really like where it's headed. But rather than take everybody's time on this, I wonder if Caroline and I should just go to the woodshed with this document and bring it back.
I think if you have additional edits, I think that makes a lot of sense as long as we're not, I don't know of any deadlines for which Lauren needs like a final draft. So
would it be anything for that summit happening in mid-July?
Lauren, you want to share?
That's very astute, Kate. Thank you. I'm totally comfortable bringing a draft actually to that summit, though I would like to get your edits into this in advance of that, just to have something a little closer, please. That being said, I do have a question for the commission overall. I'm totally happy to delay or, postpone this into the next one because I think it's a really important topic. But I do want some thought / direction on if we are including the how, or if that should be something that should not be included in this as value statements, right?
Yeah.
Just a what and a why, right? Which I will say the only precedent I can think of is the comprehensive plan, which does something very smart like that. Like there's these big value statements. This is how we're thinking. This is why we're thinking it, even though it doesn't include very much why, but how we're thinking about it. And then it does leave it to staff to implement the how of doing things. Does the commission have some guidance on that before we make edits one way or the other?
I think that's a great point, actually, because this, in particular, this topic, this technology, how we use it is going to continue to evolve faster than we can keep track of it. So the how is going to continue to change.
Yeah, I agree. And also sometimes you don't even know, like it just is happening. And so then to make a statement of we must include it might be hard to, to have that kind of transparency.
Because there are other kind of more ideas-based directives, like minimize bias by interrogating your tools or empower and educate yourself. Those are those aren't as like precise situation oriented as the include clear AI data rights language. Yeah.
Yeah. I think taking out that second one eliminates my cringing at it. So, and then I would love to hear what other things, Kate, and I can
Well,
take
if you want to, I mean, I don't think it would take more than 10 minutes. Like I said, it's nothing substantive. It's just clarity and a few word changes. We can do it now, and then it can be, then we can do it. It's up to y'all.
I'm happy not to wordsmith on everybody's time.
I can send my edits to you, Lauren. Is there any, or should we work on it, Caroline?
Let's work on it together. Yeah.
Okay, but then there's nothing to be done with it between now and the next meeting.
It becomes a draft. Yeah, Lauren, go ahead.
I think if you two want to work on a draft, and I can work on it with you two also because it's just the three of us. If it's not substantive and changing like I would probably bring that new version to still as a draft to the summit, and then we could bring it to the next time because I'm also curious to see what they're going to say at the summit that might add or
that's true.
have some impact on this. But how does that sound?
I like that.
Good.
All right, so we take some edits and create a new draft, and that is what is presented at Summit.
Yeah, and then yes, I have just a brief, hopefully keep it brief, statement regarding I was on the AI panel with Caroline for some time, so I'm just going to breeze through it. Hopefully, it won't take too long. So, I would like to start off by saying that I stand by and support the work of staff and Caroline in formulating this AI values statement. I would like to give an alternative perspective from myself and others within the community so that it can be considered in these discussions moving forward. I recognize that for many, the casual use of AI for emails, report writing, and other logistical office tasks is considered increasingly commonplace. I also recognize the mindset that using AI to perform these tasks in our stead frees up time and energy to be focused on the art. I would like to offer a challenging perspective. I'm hoping I can speak for everyone here. I'm sure I can. When I say that we are all in this room because we care deeply about art and those that are making it. We are here to help facilitate the building and maintaining of the arts community. This is clearly something we put value in. With that value in mind, I ask us to consider the human experience that makes art possible. Ongoing AI use has been shown to decrease users' ability to brainstorm, work through their own ideas, come to their own conclusions, express their own experiences, and formulate their own solutions. Reliance on AI can also isolate us from community. Instead of brainstorming or processing with trusted community, we ask a system that has no lived experience. Yes, utilizing AI may allow for the perceived simplification of tasks and a sense of order. However, we can do hard things. It is the human experience to do hard things. It is vital for the human experience for us to do mundane tasks, to experience frustration, for things to be hard, to run into problems and create solutions, to think our own thoughts, feel our own feelings, and to communicate them, even when it's hard, especially. The human experience was not meant to be frictionless. And we cannot make art or tell stories or connect in community without the human experience. The art is in the process of the doing. If we aren't experiencing anything, including the minutia, What stories do we tell? How do we connect with one another? What makes our voices and experiences matter? I have heard it said recently that everyone you know is using AI. I am providing pushback to this sentiment. There are individuals, communities, and organizations not adopting AI use. I know for some it can feel surreal that AI avoidance is currently considered the radical positioning, but I'm here to remind you that you do not have to use AI. And I just ask everyone to consider what the human experience means to you and what it's worth and how it culminates into the art that we are here to support today. The value statement is envisioned with harm reduction and community support at the forefront. I support the statement for those reasons. I want community members, including myself, to act and react from an informed place and position. I'm hopeful that the upcoming AI Summit will be informative, nuanced, and ultimately supportive of community members having agency over their AI usage or avoidance. For transparency, I wrote this statement without the use of AI. It took 45 minutes and I drank 1 cup of water. Thank you for listening.
Is there action that's required on this?
No.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you, Yoled.
Do we move on to matters from the staff?
Yes, we may. Thank you. Thank you. Just a quick, because our retreat is longer, it's usually 5 hours. It is booked now, I believe, on October 28th, so probably just the shortened calendar hold for now. So I just wanted to see if that is still a good date and time for everybody, or if we would like to look at a Friday more 10 to 3. I am agnostic about about your preferences and if you have any thoughts about any of this. I also encourage you to look at your calendars and see if you're traveling and see if you'll be on hand, because it's important that we're in the room together. So if somebody's out for all this time, we can also look a week, different times. Please and thank you.
Not Halloween Eve.
Okay. We have a mouse in the room. You may dress up.
It's going to anyway.
So just to clarify, that is the date of one of our regular meetings.
Yeah, usually we substitute in the retreat instead of the regular meeting. We might do a little bit of a housekeeping at the start, like start a meeting, close it, and then have the retreat. So if everybody is in town and has this Wednesday afternoon just a little bit longer, so like a 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., we also hold them someplace super cool. So I have some thoughts as you're looking at your calendars, either at the university. I'm so glad Kate is on the Arts Commission now and can help us with that. Maybe at the theater next to the Boulder Theater, that little restaurant, or an artist studio. I mean, I will work with our new chair and vice to talk about some cool locations. How does everybody feel? We could just do like a yay, nay, I'm not in town. We don't vote on it.
Can I ask a question first?
Yes.
Since our meeting usually runs till 6 to 8, is there a reason why it isn't going like 3 to 8, for example, but instead was shifted forward an hour?
Oh, no, it's totally just practice. We can move it later if that's helpful.
I have a slight preference for a 3 to 8 rather than a 2 to 7, but I could make a 2 to 7 work. I know that's a long time and it's fatiguing to go late into the night in a long meeting, so I respect the fact that 2 to 7 might be better in this case.
I'm okay with either. I do prefer the October 28th because the Fridays can get hard for whatever reason, but I'm okay with all the dates proposed.
Thank you.
Band of Toughs has a show at the Junkyard, but they have asked my performance troupe that I'm associated with to be involved in this one. I don't personally have to be, but had interest in doing it, especially if they end up picking Beetlejuice, which I was poking them to do. This is their 5/5 thing where different troupes take on a fifth of the movie and act it out. Yeah.
This is a good one.
So it's still in very much a holding space on my calendar and even with them. But that would be my benefit to the 30th or the,
For which date is that?
that's the 28th.
Oh,
So yeah, if I had to vote, I'd vote for the 23rd, but I totally understand Fridays are harder.
Jeffrey?
I'm the 28th, I'm in town. The 20, I can't do either of the Fridays, I'm out of town.
Okay, well, let's just stick with the 28th then. We'll figure it out.
No, or what about Tuesdays for people? What about the 27th?
That'll work.
27th?
You laid, are you, yeah, I'm available anytime.
Great.
Yeah.
I can do the
I'll be here.
27th.
Okay.
Okay.
Gaia, can you do the 27th?
Yes.
And Montserrat?
Oh, great.
Yeah, I can too. And that works for staff too?
Yes, my sacred holiday.
Sorry to even propose it. I apologize.
Wait, sorry, what? I didn't hear that.
Halloween is like a huge thing for me, so I'm happy
Yeah.
that Halloween.
It is.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a religious holiday. Yeah.
Exactly.
The 27th, wonderful. Is 2 to 7, 3 to 8?
That's fine for me.
Okay,
3 to 8 is fine.
3 to 8. Okay,
Mhm.
3 to 8. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Did we say 3 to 8? I couldn't hear that.
Yes. Yeah. And
Oh, good, that is better.
yeah, we will send out, we as in Melissa, our colleague Melissa, will update the, thank you, Melissa, retreat. Thanks, everybody.
And Lauren, I have another scheduling question. The AI Summit that's on July 16th. I have a Google Meet invite for that. Is that in person? I thought.
Yeah, it's in person only as of now at Kiln.
Okay. I was confused by the Google Meet invite. So okay, thank you.
Glitch.
Yeah.
Probably just didn't update the calendar hold. I apologize.
Okay, no problem.
Wonderful. Questions about staff memo?
I actually have a question on the staff memo. What? What? There was a section in there on the artist biz cohort doing like that business training. And I would love more information and I would love to be involved. If that's an option and
Oh, Lauren, please speak to that.
And I'm sorry that Cindy is not here to respond. She's managing that program. It's brand new this year with our move to the Office of Cultural and Economic Development. We are partnering with our colleagues in the Small Business Development Center, who are absolutely incredible. They host their own cohort trainings. And so this one is integrated, including their trainers and then some trainers from the arts community, specifically focusing on helping artists become a business, set up everything they need to be a business, marketing, branding, and then they would receive a little bit of funds like $800 to $1,000 at the end to put towards building a website, to put towards something to support their business development.
awesome.
Yeah, it is currently in progress. We're building out, or I should say, Cindy is building out the details with the SBDC. It should open, I believe, in the next couple of weeks for applications and things, but I will let her know to bring you into the discussions because I am sure that it would be very helpful to have your insights, your professional expertise, especially on
Yeah,
the,
I mean, I'd be
Yeah.
like I do it with CAFTA all the time. It would be my pleasure to come and just, sit and ask questions as they come up or whatever.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much for your interest.
Kate? Yeah. Kate, another question.
Mute.
Muted.
I was laughing, Jill, and saying I appreciate that positivity. You're like, yeah, calling out people. I like that energy. I actually have one more question about the grants program, and I'm sorry that I did not ask it when we were still on that topic. Would now be a good time?
Yes, except Sarah left the room for 1 second.
Well, maybe we can just, oh, okay, I can wait then if there's other comments.
He's on the way.
She's gone.
You leave for 1 minute.
Oh no.
Sarah, come back.
Nice try.
Where are we? Okay, I did have one more question on the grants topic, which was this should be a softball, don't worry. When we chose to advance 17 of the individual Boulder Vision folks, and then there was a statement that we could take the rest of the available funding and put it towards something else. Is it already decided where that's going? Do we have to talk about that? Is it a decision that needs to be made in the future? Or like the near future?
So yes and no. The probably most obvious answer was going to be to fund additional arts education project grants, because that's the last competitive grant that we have open. We had a discussion today with the panel to see whether they would recommend more than the anticipated projects, which has yet to be seen. It was undetermined today after the initial review. So either it could be recommended that additional arts education project grants get funded, or it would go to the remaining first come first served grants. The only deadline with those is that they open in July and August respectively, but we could always open an additional round, so it's low stakes in that sense.
Thank you, Sarah. Any other questions for staff? We can't do a photo today.
Well,
Leaving it out there, definitely.
There's a Brady Bunch, like we're all just in our little box.
Okay, I hereby adjourn this meeting.
Woo!
You.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Enjoy your travels.